The Angry Marks Podcast Network is brought to you by WrestleWork, a social network to connect, create, and share everything about pro wrestling. Check it out today at WrestleWork.com.
You're listening to the Raw Reaction on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Yes. Monday, March 23rd, the final Raw before WrestleMania. Next week on Raw Reaction is the Super Bowl show of Raw Reaction, where we get to do the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. And tonight, you know what? Raw is what it is, but what was beautiful, as Angry Tenchai joins you with my boy Big Dick, is that piece of art that took place before our theme music played, that commercial for WrestleWork.com. That could be one of the highest production value, well thought out commercials I've ever heard in my life. Wow, was it impressive. Dick, did you hear that commercial?
You sold out. What a match today between J&J Security, Randy Orton, and Seth Rollins. Wow, the crowd was eating it up, and I think they're going to put on a classic of WrestleMania. We'll talk more about that in a little while.
You know, Vic, I gotta say, I'm glad you were excited that your boys J&J Authority wrestled tonight. I love the idea of the fact that two professionals like Joey Mercury and Jamie Noble don't know to put wrestling gear on when they go to the ring. They forgot everything they've learned over the last 20 years, and they wrestle in really nice suits and dress shirts. But anyway, that is what it is. Can I tell you what I love tonight best about Raw, Big Dick?
Go ahead, Angry Tenza.
It's going to shock you. I saw some natural chemistry tonight, and I know you're going to disagree with me, and I know I'm probably going to get killed for this. I absolutely love Dean Ambrose and R-Truth together. I don't know why, but it worked, and I loved it. Anything?
Yeah, that was quite the interesting tag matchup today. Or what is it? Five-man or four-man tags? Is it? Or three-man tag?
It was
there were a whole bunch. It was an 8-man tag.
Yeah, well, no, wasn't that it was an 8-man tag. No, it was a tag.
10-man tag. No, the 10-man tag was with the Battle Royal jobbers.
Yeah, you're mixing it up. So it was Luke Harper, and I want to say, I don't remember exactly who it was with Luke Harper. It was Luke Harper versus Dean Ambrose and R-Truth. And Luke Harper did have a partner, and I really don't remember the match.
It was Stardust, I think.
It was Stardust. Yes, you know why it was Stardust? Because he was running back and forth doing sprints while he was waiting to be tagged in. And I love the fact that these guys are going to be competitors on Sunday, but yet they actually tried to wrestle and win the match. It really wasn't a match they put a lot of thought into, but there was a cool exchange at the end when R-Truth and Dean Ambrose hugged, and R-Truth and Dean Ambrose danced together in the ring. And the way Dean Ambrose played it off, it almost looked like it wasn't scripted, even though it probably was. I loved it. It was great. And I also love that JBL brought up that Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper have the same shirt on. I appreciated that as well.
Yeah, I think Luke Harper's might not have been washed as recently as Dean Ambrose, I think. And that's probably not a common occurrence with people wearing that shirt.
They're selling that Intercontinental title match hard, dude. They spent a lot of time on that tonight, didn't they?
Yeah, I sort of like it. The one thing that I thought was going to happen was when they got everybody down and everybody was just laid out there right before the main event segment, I thought that Sheamus was going to walk out to the ring and take it down. 7's just a weird number to have in the match.
Yeah. Why isn't there 8? I mean, is something going to happen on SmackDown? You can't have 7. That's so odd.
Yeah, I mean, there's 6, there's 8. I don't know, 7 just doesn't do it for me. So I was thinking, I mean, that would have been fine. Sheamus makes his return. he marches into the ring and he pulls down the title while everybody else is unconscious in the ring. I think that's the way to go.
Well, I mean, I think Goldust could probably insert himself in there too, but he's in the Battle Royal, I believe. I don't know, man. I mean, I agree with you. 7 is a weird number, and Sheamus definitely fits. I just hope he doesn't win the match. Because I just think I don't necessarily think he's too good for the Intercontinental title, but I think he kind of stifles the mid card. You know, one of the things that I never really liked that's on SmackDown was when Christian and Henry and everybody was doing their thing. Specifically Alberto Del Rio and Sheamus kind of got stuck in the middle of the card. And when Randy Orton, Mark Henry, and or Christian was going for the title, they really didn't, because of their work rate, in my opinion. Not saying Alberto Del Rio couldn't work, but he tends to be better in high profile feuds. They just kind of meandered in the mid card, and I think that's the problem with Sheamus. If he's not in the main feud, he doesn't really do too much. I don't know. I don't think he has enough to offer to be in the middle of the card, just exchanging wins and losses. I don't know. I don't like him with the Intercontinental title. I think it's better served on somebody like Stardust or Wade Barrett even keeping it, personally.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm thinking it's going to be. I'm thinking that we're going to end up having an awesome title match at what's the next pay-per-view after that?
Backlash.
I'm thinking that next pay-per-view we're going to have a freaking awesome title match. We might even get like a series between them, Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler. And
I guess.
I really see it. I was actually shocked. I didn't realize that they were. I don't watch SmackDown, so I didn't realize they wrestle on SmackDown. And I mean, they put on a good match tonight. They put on a good match on SmackDown. I thought they had one more match before. They put on a couple good matches. And I think Ziggler, he's come out ahead more times than not, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's interesting that they're putting on. I guess I like it because, I mean, there's finishes and it's legit and it's great wrestling. But I don't know where this leads. I'd like to have like a payoff match. I mean, maybe even do like a 60-minute time limit match at like one of the pay-per-views coming up, just sort of as a filler where Lesnar's not going to be there. Have it be the main event.
I got a good one to your point. How about WrestleMania? Right? I mean, these guys should be at WrestleMania doing that match.
Yeah, the only problem is WrestleMania. You can't have two guys do an hour match. I mean, you're better served doing that.
Like Bret Hart did.
He did at WrestleMania?
Yeah, WrestleMania 12. Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart went 1 hour. It's one of the most famous matches in WWE history. Not only did it go 1 hour, it went into overtime for like another 7 minutes. That was HBK's trademark and signature win, brother.
Yeah, but the problem is you need to get every WWE superstar on the roster onto WrestleMania, as we've seen with the tag team 8-team match and the Andre the Giant Battle Royal Memorial and a 7-man tag match.
It's all garbage. I think about how great Shawn Michaels is. Now, WrestleMania 12, you may not recall that match, but it's definitely considered one of the greatest matches in WWE history. You got WrestleMania 10, the ladder match with Razor Ramon, or was that 11? And then you have WrestleMania 20, and not making a joke, Benoit, Triple H, and HBK, and then WrestleMania 3, Steamboat and Savage. Shawn Michaels was arguably in 3 of the 4 greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. Kevin Killa Kev, you're a wrestling historian. Do you agree with that? And I believe that HBK was in 3 of the greatest WrestleManias matches of the greatest 4.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
What a feather in his cap, man, to think about that. And to Vic's point, though, Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan are clearly the best workers, I think, in WWE, and I'm sure Vic does too. I wonder why they're not getting more time, and who did Daniel Bryan piss off? That's my question. Because he has fallen down the card. I don't know, Vic, why that is, but
well, yeah, I mean, you have to give it a little time. I mean, he came back. It's not like he's had championship matches. I mean, he got shit out at Royal Rumble, but I mean, that might have just been to say, hey, you know what? He's not going to be.
His match with Reigns was awesome. He carried him at Fastlane.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, if they were ready not planning on putting him in the match, then I mean, You
True.
could have the best match in the world and not win it. So, I mean, where do you go from there? And this is the next best option for him right now.
I
And I think
guess
that him getting up to it, I think him and Ziggler are, I mean, they're sort of the highlight of the group, I guess you'd say, so far. I think that one of them are probably favored to win right now.
yeah, you're right. You make a good point. I mean, and honestly, Brian, everybody on the roster really worked to get, and I don't care what the internet says, the roster really worked hard. Forget what the bookers had. The roster very, very much worked very, very hard to get Daniel Bryan over. And everybody laid down for Daniel Bryan last year, whether it be John Cena, whether it be Batista or Randy Orton on several occasions or Triple H. Everybody, Kane, everybody laid down and helped build him. And they wrestled with vigor and did a great job to tell that story. So, you know what? I guess Daniel Bryan, it's kind of his turn to do the same. So that's kind of cool. I guess you're right. That's a good point. And it's Ziggler who's really had a lot of momentum starting with Survivor Series and a couple of Intercontinental title runs. Let me ask you this. So we saw a lot of divas tonight. There's a lot of rumors flying around the internet. They could possibly be not true because CM Punk is one to troll the internet, but
And it is the internet. You have to remember that also.
the local internets?
Yeah, yes, it could be the local internets.
The local internets, as Don West calls them. We checked the local internets, and these Beanie Babies are going for at least $999 each on the local internets. The local internets are reporting that AJ Lee has unfriended CM Punk on Twitter, and then CM Punk put up a bunch of posts about how he wasted time, blah, 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 but didn't say what it alludes to. So, who knows? AJ Lee is on the road. She's traveling. Do you think she might have wronged CM Punk?
You know what? She's always come across as one who is very, lack of better terms, obtainable.
Dude, that's like if Raw Reaction is the name of our show, you calling AJ Lee obtainable is probably the second most signifiable. I don't think a week's went by where you haven't said that. I love that. It's my favorite part of the show.
Dude, I walk into Grumpy's Bar and Grill in Beechwood, New Jersey, and I see AJ Lee in there wearing a wrestler gear. You know what? I'm going up there and laying some game down on. I don't know if it's going to work, but she makes me feel like it will work.
Everybody knows that girl, like AJ Lee, like real pretty girl, like a little off. Your friends have messed around with her, and you're like, how could a girl that hot have that reputation and be like a pig like that? And then you get to hook up with her, and then you realize, like, she really is like that, and it's like, you don't get it. And I know a girl exactly like that from a long time ago, and I wonder, and I had my chance, just like everybody else, and I remember thinking, like, how can you be this hot and be such a mess in reality? And that's kind of what you're calling AJ Lee every time you call her obtainable. Am I right or am I wrong?
You pretty much summed it up well.
We all know this girl. The girl I'm talking about, this is the girl that
Smoke speaking glasses.
Yeah, you mess around with her a few times, and you start liking her, and you're like, dude, I gotta snap out of this. I can't go out with her. Everybody knows the story about her. I can't. But then you're like, man, I wish she didn't do all this shit, because I'd like to hang out with this girl. She's cool, you know, but I can't, man.
Bob Krause's what was it, a Corvette or a Mustang? In a driveway of Bob Krause's Mustang?
Let me tell you something. I saw BK. I saw what he was doing that day, and I saw the girl, and
it wasn't AJ Lee.
I love that all the haters tried to make it like BK didn't get her, and it couldn't happen, and they tried to shoot that. And I remember RP and DH specifically saying BK could never get with her. And I said, guys, I hate to tell you this, but Larry saw it with his own eyes, and I saw it with my own eyes. I saw him putting his PP in that woman. So I'll tell you right now, he absolutely did that. And I was very proud of BK. Bobby JK. Speaking of which, what did you think of that segment where Tyson Kidd was eating the chicken fries and whispering sweet nothings to them, and Natalia thought it was her?
I thought it was pretty awesome. I didn't realize how sexy thick Natalia
Oh,
Is
she's
when she
awesome,
was sitting
dude.
down and munching on some of those chicken fries.
She
I'm
is
like,
awesome, dude. She is a woman, man. Let me tell you something, man. Natalia. Killer Kev, get your ass on the air. What do you think of Natalia, man? You never talk about women on the airwaves, man.
She's sexy thick.
Do you agree, though? For real? Like, she really is, isn't she?
She is.
She's like a real woman, man.
Ty-
I mean, she's
Tyson
awesome.
Tyson Kidd is the luckiest son of a bitch ever.
Well, let's
And
kind of
I am sure he makes a great housewife.
I would agree that she is top notch 99.9 percentile. And I'm not trying to say that I'm a guy that plays for the other team, but Tyson Kidd does have his act together. I mean, the dude is like completely on top of his game. So let's not totally shit on Tyson Kidd.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna shit too much on Tyson Kidd. Here's how it kind of reminds me. You're familiar with Mary Kay Cosmetics, right?
Yeah, everybody knows them.
Right, and you know the driving power in Mary Kay is you want to become a big director and eventually earn your Cadillac.
Okay.
I guess.
There is a culture in Mary Kay that's actually called the Caddy Daddies.
What's that?
That those are the supportive husbands of the successful Mary Kay women.
Caddy daddies.
And basically, it is a culture where the guys are like, you know what? I've got a hot wife and she's really successful and she's bringing home the bacon. So I get to chill at home all day with the kids and just lay around and be cool as shit because my wife bought me a caddy.
I like those guys.
I mean, seriously, go on YouTube, search for Caddy Daddy.
I like
It sounds
these
like,
Some
it
of the
sounds like a
funniest
new
shit.
reality TV show coming out soon.
It could be.
I'm thinking
But-
FX maybe.
But when I think of Tyson Kidd, that's kind of like that's what I think about Tyson Kidd. I mean, he is a guy who's very married to a woman who's got her shit together and it's very successful, and he's able to really cruise on that, and that's not negative at all.
Hold on.
I don't know about that. What exactly is
Here comes Angry Tensai marking out for Tyson Kidd. How have the times changed? Tyson Kidd is arguably in the best tag team in the televised world right now.
I agree. I would agree, but let's be perfectly honest. If Tyson Kidd never showed up on TV again, A, would we really notice, and B, would we miss him? No, we wouldn't.
I would.
But can you say I could say the same thing about Natalia? I couldn't care less if it was her or AJ Lee or
I miss Caitlyn.
Nick Bella.
Right. I mean, you can argue that, and I won't deny that argument. I could definitely see that as well. But of the two, which of the two would likely disappear first, Kidd or Natalia?
Kidd.
Six of one, half dozen the other to me.
No, Kidd.
Guys,
Kidd,
I miss
easily,
Caitlyn.
Kidd easily
guys
slips
know
off
that.
later.
I miss Caitlyn.
What is she doing now?
She's like a weightlifter again, like she used to be.
I miss Emma.
The Evolution. Emma is the WWE diva I find least attractive outside of Summer Rae and dislike the most.
Even less than Paige?
You know what? I don't think Paige is completely unattractive. I think she just needs a little color. Paige has a very nice bum. Very, very nice bum. I have noticed that.
I thought it was interesting. I was listening to commentators. I don't know if this is true or not, but it sounded pretty legit. But they were saying that if Paige won the championship tonight, she would have tied. There was like two other wrestlers who I guess had 3 reigns as women's champion each, and I think that was the most ever they said for a women's title.
Yeah, for the Divas, that would have been 3 times Divas champion, which would have tied her with AJ, which was and Eve Torres. Pretty interesting. Very, very impressive.
Think about that. I mean, she's been around for what, a year? Not even.
True, but I was waiting for Lord Steven Regal to walk in and be interviewed for his big match with Ric Flair, and he'd say, well, you know, Ric Flair, to hold the title 13 times, you had to lose it 13 times, sunshine. I love that, because it is true. There's nothing to be proud of, losing the world title 13 times.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point there, and that was interesting to catch up. So, Angry Tenzo, why don't you tell us a little bit about this Divas Championship match?
Yeah, I thought this was a real interesting build up and a real interesting segment altogether. And we will talk a little more about the Divas in Stephanie McMahon with Sting in a little bit, but because I do consider Stephanie a diva. But the big segment tonight was with Paige and AJ in the locker room. They were informed
I thought you were going to
that
say in the shower. Damn it.
what's that?
So I thought you were going to say in the shower. Damn it.
No. Unfortunately, they were just talking because they're best frenemies now, and they were just talking about the opportunity they were given tonight, which was between the two of them. Nikki Bella has granted a title shot to whichever one of them wants to take the title shot tonight, and then backstage. They were both kind of pleading their cases to each other. Paige was pretty convincing because she said, no disrespect, you've been gone longer and I feel like I've earned my opportunity. And AJ was kind of like, well, I have the pedigree, blah, blah, blah. And in reality, I was thinking like, wouldn't the easiest way out of this without totally screwing up their little partnership be, okay, you're great, I'm great, we'll flip a coin and then nobody would be mad. But no, they couldn't do it that way. Paige passive aggressively took the title shot. And AJ just kind of went along with it because she kind of feels like she's the new kid on the block coming back. And it really wound up being a very intelligent setup by the Bellas because they knew, in their opinion, Paige and AJ could not coexist. And apparently AJ thought Brie Bella was running after her when a melee broke out towards the ringside, and she accidentally hit Paige, which of course leads to rack attack, which is a move that a girl with big breasts would use as a finisher, and wins with said rack attack, and Paige and AJ kill each other.
Describe some of the carnage in this match, especially after the assault on Paige.
Well, Paige used a move called the Rampage, which is apparently one of her finishers, that didn't win the match. And I wondered to myself, is it spelled Rampage, Rampage, or conventional Rampage, Rampage? That's a great question, by the way, which I'm sure nobody really knows the answer to.
Yeah. I mean, there's quite some action here. I mean, it was actually a pretty long match. I mean, it's probably 10, 12 minutes, I'd say.
It's a great match. It was actually a really good match.
Yeah, usually you get like a 3-minute match. I mean, had a couple moments where they were just both laying out in a ring. I mean, it looked like Darren Sharp were dating it.
Oh God, bro, love it. I have to say, Nikki Bella, and I'm not making a joke, she's gotten really good in the ring. I mean, she's gotten a lot better. I mean, she used to be a complete joke, and she can now wrestle a really decent match. So, it's not like she's just like a joke as a champion anymore. She's been good, and I think that's cool, and it's good to see the improvement. I remember how poor Trish Stratus was as a wrestler when she first started, and she became like the best ever in the women's division. So, very cool that Nikki Bella has improved, and I think she showed it tonight,
Yeah. No, I think that I think that was a good match, and I think it was last week too. They had a pretty decent sized Divas match. I mean, like 10 minutes, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. But it's good. You know what? It's good because it builds up the story a little bit. I mean, you can't have the entire Divas division set backstage and in 2-minute crap matches where somebody attacks somebody or some fluke finish or somebody gets squashed. So it's nice to see him get a little airtime, and hopefully that's the last time we have to watch Los Matadores.
Who won a match tonight where El Torito pinned Natalia in an intergender match, which was just a shit show. Cesaro and Tyson Kidd versus Matadors and Torito. And you know what, man? Good for Torito. He pinned a woman.
Yeah. That might have been the thrill of his life sexually.
Yeah, I was not very pleased with that match. It was terrible. But you know what I did like? I really enjoyed the first segment between Sting and Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. I didn't really like the end of it because it was kind of.
I'm going to tell you before we go to that. Can I tell you about my favorite part of the tag team match?
Sure.
tonight between Tyson Kidd and Cesaro and what's her name and Los Matadores. My favorite part of the match was actually the Usos.
The Rampage?
No, my favorite part was the Usos actually during this match.
They were in the match?
No, they were on commentary.
I must have had the sound off. I don't remember that.
Were they in that match or the 5-man match, Kev? Or the 10-man match? Kevin, help.
I don't remember the Usos at any point being on the mic.
No, they're definitely on the mic at some point.
It would have been in this. What did they say?
They said that they may be involved in the tag team championship match at the pay-per-view on the pre-show.
That match is going to the pre-show?
Yeah, apparently.
That's a shame, man. That's a shame. Cesaro and Tyson Kidd are going to be left off WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Why not scrap that match?
I don't exactly. I don't like it.
No, but I got an idea. Cesaro and Tyson Kidd are undisputedly the best tag team in the world. So, because they are great wrestlers, they're going to do a 10-minute exhibition match against each other at WrestleMania. And you could watch two really good wrestlers wrestle, and it'll be entertaining. What an idea. Two good wrestlers entertaining on TV. Wow, what an idea.
Yeah, I don't know. Can we involve a bull or a gator in it, possibly?
Or a Slater.
The Slater gator.
Did you see Slater last week on Raw? I think he shaved his head.
Did he? No, I might have missed it.
Well, Sting. We got to talk about Sting. This was a major... There's 3 major segments that we need to touch base on. One would be Sting and Stephanie McMahon. 2 would be Rusev snapping. And then 3 would be the...
WrestleMania.
Oh, God, man. There was a lot of material tonight. I mean, the Seth Rollins match is just build up for his match at Randy Orton. That was a throwaway. But Sting, I mean, the Sting Stephanie McMahon segment, I don't know about you, but maybe because I'm a big Sting fan, I thought that was one of the most well-done segments, at least the execution of it up until the bat and the sledgehammer that I've seen in a while, and it was a really good promo. Basically, Sting came out, really high energy, really excited, talking about, hey, is this what it's a bit like to be starting off a Raw? He got very nostalgic, talked about why he's back, talked about that it's not about WCW, it's literally about Triple H, and just how pumped up he was to be part of all this. Stephanie McMahon came out and basically just shit on him and said, you're an afterthought, you shouldn't even be here, blah, 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 blah. She went to hit Sting. Sting caught her hand and just kind of held it. Triple H came out and, man, was he methodical coming down the ramp. And it just felt like, wow, this guy's got his hands on Triple H's wife, and Triple H looks pissed. And the reason I love Triple H over the last couple years is I forget the matches he's lost when he does stuff like this, and he looks like a complete badass to me, and I feel like he's about to kill somebody. And I literally thought Sting was going to get killed. And he lets Stephanie go. Triple H looks at Stephanie, asks her if she's okay, which is kind of a face-like thing to do. And then basically he's going to go defend his wife, picks up a sledgehammer, Sting pulls a bat out of his coat. And what I loved was Stephanie McMahon actually pulled him back and said, you know what, it's not worth it. Don't give it away for free now. Don't do it. And Triple H looked like he was going to do it. And it makes you wonder if Stephanie really talked him out of it. It was just a cool segment. And it wasn't really super thought out, but it was just kind of cool in its execution. I really enjoyed it. But I wish there was physicality.
Yeah, you know what? I liked Stephanie McMahon coming out. She's like, I don't know. She might be top sexy thick in the company now. She's looking pretty good.
She's sexy, but she's not thick. She lost her thick.
Oh, Stephanie McMahon's thick. She's thick in the right place.
No, she's big now. She used to be thick and bigger, and that's what made her hot. And now she's got like the stick legs, and I don't know. She's too thin now. She's way too thin.
I don't know. She still looks like. I consider her sexy thick. Maybe can we have a WWE AngryMarks.com poll on this, Killer Kev?
She's not like she used to be. Take a look. I want you to do. See, to me, there's one thing that makes sexy thick: fat ass, thick thighs, and she does not have those. And you know who has that? Nikki Bella and Natalya. That's sexy thick.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. I disagree. The problem is we don't see Stephanie in wrestling tights that much
right
anymore. So, I mean, I get suckered in by that.
Don't
this
you love
little black
seeing the contrast between Nikki Bella and Brie Bella? Like, I love the contrast. How they're actual identical twins, and one is so thick and one is not. That is the hottest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's literally just like, hey, they're fucking with us.
It's like, no, one is in incredible shape, and the other one is just really thin and doesn't eat.
Yeah, that's probably about right. Or he
Nikki Bella.
eats a fully vegan diet.
Nikki Bella is one of the healthiest people and the most perfect looking people there can be. Take the rack attack out of it. I'm talking waist down. The rack attack out of it. I would put healthiest people. I would put Nikki Bella right behind Tensai of WWF. The real Albert Lord Tensai. He is just a perfect human being in great shape. That's what a man's supposed to look like.
An incredible physical specimen.
Yeah. Now,
I did like the Stephanie talking part. That was pretty good.
Stephanie's
It
great.
was, I mean,
When
it's good.
Triple
I don't think any more love for Sting, but I think it built it up adequately.
I think you're right. I think anytime Triple H or her actually is physically going to have a match, they're awesome on the mic. It's when they're not going to fight somebody and they're just overseeing things that they absolutely suck. But when Triple H is going to have a match and they have to build up that match, or Stephanie has a match, if they build that up, it's entertaining because they're such asses, and they, especially Triple H, you can back it up in the ring. You know?
Yeah. And the funny thing is, like, looking at this, if you look at Sting, I mean, not taking anything away from Sting, but if you look at Sting and Triple H in the ring, and just as far as, yeah, Triple H freaking kill him.
And Triple H is going to have to job to him, and as much as I love Sting, I kind of have a problem with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it leads to something else, then, you know what, maybe go ahead with it. I'm trying to think how this plays out to set up next year's WrestleMania.
I know.
I hate trying to look this far ahead with stuff, but I mean, I can almost see you start to lay the foundation for next year's WrestleMania.
Well, it'll probably be Sting versus Undertaker, and they both retire at the same time. And I think Sting would lose that match. I think he would let Undertaker go over. But Triple H kind of has to take the fall here. But you see, that's where the Ric Flair promo is so powerful, man. That Ric Flair promo a couple weeks ago was amazing. Because Ric Flair basically laid out for us that the reason Triple H doesn't win matches anymore is because he's an exec now. He doesn't train to be a wrestler. He just trains to look good in a suit and be the executive. And I love what he said to the guy in the airport. Ric Flair, I went up to the guy in the airport and I said, man, Daniel Bryan, man, Triple H is going to tear him apart in 5 minutes. But you spot trips? That's not you, Triple H. That's the Triple H that was wrestling every week, that was on TV every week. Man, I love that promo. That promo is like the excuse that needed to be said. That was a great promo, man. I love that promo. One of the best I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, definitely. It was good. It's done a really good job of building this matchup. I haven't liked the hype for a couple of matches, and I've really liked the hype for a couple of matches. This one, I absolutely loved the hype. I think that I don't know. There's a couple other matches where I'm just not buying it. Like Undertaker and Bray Wyatt, not liking it at all. I mean, we haven't even seen the Undertaker.
You will when they get in there, bro. I have a feeling the card looks like shit for the most part, but there's good matchups. Like, I absolutely think Sting and Triple H are going to deliver, for sure. I think Undertaker and Bray Wyatt are going to deliver, for sure. Randy Orton and Seth Rollins absolutely will deliver. And the latter match is going to be a clusterfuck, but it's going to deliver. The main event will not deliver. Listen to me now. The main event will not deliver. And even though Brock Lesnar's in it, it's not going to deliver.
You know what? I say it's not going to deliver unless it's like a 10-minute squash match where Lesnar dominates him like he dominated Cena.
They should just put Seth Rollins in it. It'll be good. You put Seth Rollins in that match, it's good.
Now, what are your thoughts if I think we talked about it a bit. What are your thoughts about if Seth Rollins has somebody take out and then he cashes in the Money Yeah, the catches in not after the match, but like actually to be in the main event.
I don't think that
Or
would happen, but there's not enough time. I think Seth
yeah,
Rollins.
that would have been. I would have liked that like after the last pay per view. I think that would have been the way to do it.
Right. Well, Roman Reigns was goading him into doing it, which I liked. Reigns is like, go ahead, man up, man. You can do it. You can put yourself right in the main event. You totally can do it. And I think for sure Rollins will cash in the night of WrestleMania. Not only do I think Brock Lesnar is going to put Roman Reigns down, I think Rollins will cash in, and I think Lesnar's going to take him down too. I don't see Lesnar. I think they're going to renew his contract. Vince McMahon's not stupid. This is the best attraction he's had.
I think they probably already. I think they probably already have, and or just don't announce anything because I think that they're when they were talking about it a couple weeks ago, that just didn't fly. Like they made it sound like it was almost doing the same CM Punk thing where oh my gosh he's going to leave me, he's going to take the title with him. Like I felt like that angle got squished pretty quickly, and they mentioned it since then.
Right.
I think he's ready to re-up. It just hasn't been announced yet.
There's only one guy that should take the belt off Brock, and I thought that was at Survivor Series. I thought Dolph Ziggler. I'm like, they're putting the rocket up his ass. Cool, man. Ziggler's going to be the guy. And I thought that would have been cool as hell. He saved WWE and then took the title off Brock, and that's just not the direction it went. I don't think anyone's taking the title off Brock. I think WrestleMania showed how dominant he is. And people loved it, man. You know?
I think, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised seeing Brock Lesnar champ next year.
That would be so badass if he holds it all the way till next WrestleMania. I'd love it, but he's got to wrestle more. That's the only thing. And that was one thing I read. Brock Lesnar talked about it's not that he doesn't want to wrestle more. It's just Vince doesn't want to pay his appearances. And he feels like that, booking him for 12 matches would be a waste of money because the rate is so high. And that's been the problem.
How much does he charge?
That I don't know. But I'm sure it's quite high. I mean, Brock Lesnar is the biggest attraction in wrestling, so it must be high. Hulk Hogan was involved tonight. There's a big name. He interrupted Axelmania.
Yeah, this is an interesting segment. So we have Snoop Dogg came out, and I think I got a contact high from my television watching Snoop come out dancing, wearing some very interesting little outfit he had on. So that was entertaining. He was talking about Snoop Mania, not Axelmania, Snoop Mania. And, of course, that led to Axelmania.
Right.
So he came out. There was an interesting little, I don't know, interesting little segment here. And Snoop Dogg, sure enough, invited the Hulkster out. So Hulk Hogan came out, did his poses, ate his vitamins, said his prayers, and then smacked Axelmania around a little bit. And sure enough, wouldn't you know it, Snoop Dogg pulls out a gun and shoots him.
Shoots him.
Yeah. Yes.
Hulkamania. You know what though? Remember at the WrestleMania where Muhammad Hassan was like punishing Eugene and Hogan blew the roof off the place and killed him?
Yeah.
It sucks that the day came where I hear Real American and I don't absolutely blow out of my seat and go crazy like I used to. When that played in the past, somebody was getting their ass beat.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's just, hey, special appearances. But you know what? Hulkster's done a lot of ass kicking, and still by far the best theme music out there. So it's tough to get pretty stoked.
Well, Snoop makes me think of something. I want to talk about my new haircut and the atrocity. Yes, the atrocity that occurred. And
now, was East Tennessee wrestling dude not very accommodating with his razor?
I had a problem with a razor, and I want to share the story with everybody because I think you guys will be blown away by it. And I don't want to tell the story the wrong way, and it's a short story. It's just there's certain things like listen, I'm just like a normal white dude with a normal white haircut. I'm classic.
Hey, let's not make it about race, man. Let's not make it about race.
No, it's not. It's not. But I'm trying to make. Okay, I'm trying to make a point. And my point is, there's certain haircuts that like a white dude just shouldn't have, right? I mean, there's just certain things that they shouldn't do. And I have a very simple haircut. I just get a normal haircut. Just 3 on top, 3.5 on top, 1.5 on sides, and just very normal looking. Nothing unique about it. It's just combed forward and simple haircut. I have all my hair. It's very simple. black hair, and it's the easiest haircut in the world. And I go into this salon with my family, and there's an open seat, and I said, you know what, we're here already. I'll just get a haircut real quick. And this woman took a liberty on me like no other. I should have known it. I couldn't really see the mirror because the woman was actually in front of me cutting my hair, which I thought was weird in itself. And literally, I felt like on my hairline, like on the sides, almost like the razor coming at me, and I'm kind of like, that feels weird, but whatever. This woman made me look like Lloyd Christmas or Drake and gave me what's called, I guess, like an edge up, which no regular looking white guy should ever have. And I look ridiculous. And now it's been a couple days now and it's growing back, thank God. But just so you guys know, I look completely ridiculous. I look like I'm trying too hard. I look like I'm a castmate from the Jersey Shore. I look ridiculous. And I'm to the point where I won't even like be seen in public, and I'm wearing a hood and a baseball hat everywhere I go. Friends don't let friends edge ups, and I just don't have the hair for it. So I want to share this. I was disgusted. I was ashamed, and I literally look like Lloyd Christmas. I look like Lloyd Christmas, just so you know.
I'm gonna have to ask Mrs. Tensai to shoot a picture of this monstrosity.
She has not seen it. I have been sleeping with a hood on since Saturday. Now
that's
my hair grows so quick, but there's like, it's literally like there's like little edges out of the side of my head. It looks so ridiculous, and I'm freaking out over it, and it just doesn't look right. It really, oh my God, dude, it's like it's wrong. It's embarrassing, and I will never ever go anywhere except my local barbershop ever again. Somebody in chat asked who's Lloyd Christmas. Lloyd Christmas is the main character of Dumb and Dumber, played by Jim Carrey, who has the worst haircut of all time. I now have that haircut. Google Lloyd Christmas. That's me. You'll love it. You'll love it. You'll enjoy it. So that's me. And that was my week. And you know what? The only thing more uncomfortable than the haircut I'm rocking right now was the exchange between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, where they're fighting over the title in their first interaction, not at Stanford headquarters. Oh my God. Was that uncomfortable when they were ripping the title back and forth and pretending to be mad at each other? What'd you think of that, Vic?
Yeah. You know what? I like the segment Paul Heyman came out. He's like, blah, 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 blah. I can't really do anything to sell you on this match. And then he goes on for 10 minutes talking about selling him on a fight. I enjoyed that. Because I thought it was like, okay, cool. It's going to be like a quick segment. They're going to be like, Reigns going to come out, do some talking. Maybe Lesnar does some talking, have a real spot built up. No. He's like, blah, 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 and then continues to talk for 8 minutes. So I thought that was pretty impressive.
It was terrible. It was a terrible segment.
I liked that part. The only part I didn't like was the absolute end when they played title tug of war. I was almost hoping for R-Truth to come out and take it from him.
Dude, is the crowd going to eat up Roman Reigns? It's going to be bad on Sunday, isn't it?
You know what? I have a bad feeling it is. But if they play it right, they can do a double switch as Reigns the heel and Lesnar to face. I heard Lesnar
has to heal it up. Has to heal it up.
Yeah, I really think that that's pretty much the only way to go. And maybe he even teases the heel move right now, and then does something like betrays Rock at the next pay-per-view or something like that to sort of cause the full heel turn. Hatred.
I loved at Royal Rumble when they tried to bring The Rock out to like give credibility to Roman Reigns, and the crowd still shit on it. That was great.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But I don't necessarily think that the crowd's going to hijack the show WrestleMania. I mean, there's so many people who are in it, and it's a larger stadium, a larger crowd. I don't think that's going to be the case. The following Monday Night Raw, all bets are off, my friend. All bets are off.
Yeah, we're gonna get to cover that next week. I can't wait. It's gonna be a great show, I'm sure. You got to shout out my man Rob the Many, bro. Monday Night Yawn, Safi, Seth Draken, Killer Kev, all in chat tonight.
Angry Tensai, newcomer.
You know where they should be? The best chatting community in the world, WrestleWork.com.
What is that website again?
It's WrestleWork.com.
WrestleWork, so no S.
No.
Other than wrestle.
I've heard you call it WrestleWorks in the past. It's WrestleWork.
Okay.
Kev, is it possible?
One answer.
Yeah, but Kev, is it possible you could play that awesome spot that we started the show with real quick to like promote WrestleWork? I love that spot.
We can throw it in at the end.
Why don't we just like keep throwing it in while I'm talking and just keep interrupting me with it?
No, we don't need to do that.
Okay. So WrestleMania's coming up, guys. Sunday. What do you guys think? Any predictions? Not match by match, but anything big that you think will happen?
No, honestly, I'm not predicting anything big.
Who's gonna win Andre the Giant?
I'm not even sure I care at this point.
You know Connor and Victor are in it.
That's sad. I hated seeing him out there today in that clusterfuck of a 5-man match. I hated seeing him out there. I'm just like looking at them now. They should have gone with like 50s greaser group rather than Demolition Rehash.
Deuce and Domino?
Exactly. They definitely could pull off the Deuce and Domino look.
Deuce and Domino like literally dominated SmackDown for like 2 years. I don't know, like they fell off the face of the earth, and take their stupid ass gimmick aside, they weren't that bad in the ring. I actually liked them. Anybody else agree with me in the chat? Deuce and Domino, were they that bad? I don't think so. But
No.
they got just wiped off the face of the earth, and they were like SmackDown's it tag team. Them and Kendrick and London going back and forth. It's too bad. I liked all four of them. Let me tell you something. Kendrick and London and Paul London, essentially doesn't want to be back on WWE, which is nuts. And Kendrick we see on NXT. But you put London and Kendrick in the tag team division together, I mean, they're clearly one of the best tag teams in the world. You put them back together and let them work together. It was a good time in wrestling, but you're right. What they've done with the Ascension, man, those poor guys, man. And they're gonna get thrown out of the Andre Battle Royal, probably by Andre himself. And, how can you not root for a guy named Victor,
Seems like a good guy to me, man. Seems like a real upstanding citizen.
Yeah, man, Victor, a guy named Victor. And Adam Rose is in the Battle Royal. He has absolutely no shot.
Yeah, hopefully he's the first one out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's gonna win. It could be anybody, but well, we'll see. It should be a fun night. I think Undertaker is gonna. I think he's gonna kill Bray Wyatt. I really do. I saw a picture of Undertaker that they just showed on one of the websites, and it's not these sickly old man pictures they show. It was a picture of Taker outside the gym. He's outside the gym, like making a muscle with this little tiny small guy, and Undertaker just looks awesome. He just looks just huge, and he's gonna kill Bray Wyatt. It's gonna be bad. I can't wait. Dude, don't ever sleep on UT, bro. Everybody likes to shit on UT these days. Not me. Anyway.
Alright, dude, want to run through some quick projections?
Real quick, and then we gotta go. So rip off your top matches.
I'll just go through them all really quick. I'd say not a top match, it's actually a bottom match leading off the show, or leading off the opening segment of the pre-show. I think we have Tyson Kidd and Cesaro come out with the titles, hopefully, because they're doing more for those belts than anybody else could. I think we have I think Ziggler wins the strap, the IC strap. I'm gonna say, shoot. I feel like I feel like if I say Sting beating Triple H and Undertaker taking down, I think Undertaker loses to Bray Wyatt.
No way.
I don't know. Bray. Everybody's so afraid of Undertaker's shit. Bray's mocking it, man. And you know what? I mean, he might get his ass handed into him there, but he might also be the one who beat him, like Lesnar, just straight out beat him. I think Lesnar retains, Rollins beats Orton, and shoot, I don't know about Cena. You know what? I hate saying it, but I think Cena wins.
He will definitely win.
Yeah, I hate saying it because I feel like I shouldn't watch half the pay-per-view because I think I know what's going to happen. But you know what? Like last year with Lesnar and Undertaker, you never know what's going to happen. So I mean, it could spice things up a little bit. Mysterio
running.
Yeah, you know what? He could come in. He could be the 8th man for the Money in the Bank ladder match. And then I have Mizdow taking the Andre the Giant. Everybody gets a paycheck Battle Royal.
Love that pick. Nice pick.
What about you, Angry Tensei?
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I think they're going to use this battle royal to build up someone who you wouldn't expect to lose a big match to someone else. So I would say I'm going to pick one of three people that's going to blow your mind. I think literally Mark Henry, Kane, or Big Show will walk away because they have to legitimize one of these three guys. They're too pivotal on TV and they don't ever get big wins. Big Show's gotten a slew of big wins lately. I could see Kane or Mark Henry getting one here.
Interesting. Wow. Okay.
If you're going to build up the younger guys, it's a great forum to let one of these guys win and you really don't do damage to anyone.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I think you have to have one of them, and I think that person would be Kane right now, sort of built up as a monster in doing so. It can't just be, hey, he eliminated 3 people. It's like he eliminated,
It'd be a big win. I mean,
12 people.
Or you let the NXT guy, because they're having an NXT tournament, to let a participant from NXT go in. So whoever that is, maybe, one of those guys like Finn Balor or Adrian Neville wins the whole battle royal. I mean, what a way to make your presence felt and bust on the scene. That could happen too. So, and then you got the main event. Who are you picking in that one? Brock?
Yeah, he'd say it, but I think Brock does it. I just don't think Reigns is ready.
Well, and Rollins and Orton. Totally.
I'm going Rollins.
Oh, really? I was going to say Orton just because I just think it's WrestleMania and Rollins is going to win every other pay-per-view this year. Should be a good match. It's going to be good.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I'm sort of looking forward to this. We already talked about it, get a little bit excited. I think that it's going to be a pretty good pay-per-view.
Should be fun. Well, next week's going to be a hell of a show. It's a crazy Raw. We're going to see all kinds of new people probably resurfacing, new things started, and we're going to have a crazy crowd. So that's all we got this week. Kev, anything going on the network?
Well, before we get to this week's episodes, I just wanted to recap a little bit of last week's episodes. On the Undisputed Wrestling Show last week in our first hour, we spoke with the owner of Ohio Valley Wrestling, the infamous Nightmare, Danny Davis, and talked about a little bit about his wrestling career, about some of the past of Ohio Valley Wrestling, what they're doing right now, including their GoFundMe fundraiser to generate funds to get new high-definition video editing equipment and cameras so that they continue to produce the longest-running independent professional wrestling show on television. In the second hour, we talked with the Handicap Heroes. That's Gregory Iron and Zach Gowen. We had a lot of fun in that. We had a lot of run-ins from some outside individuals as well as they were leaving a show. So it was a crazy show. You definitely want to check that out. And then this past Sunday, we had an interview with the Blueprint, Matt Morgan. We talked about his WWE career. We talked about his time in TNA, why he stepped away from the business, and what he's doing now. So if you are a fan of Matt Morgan, as I was, and many people were, you definitely want to turn into that episode as well. Tomorrow night's episode of the Undisputed Wrestling Show, though, it's going to be a special episode because it will be Will Huckabee running the show, and we've dubbed it the Night of Champions, as Will is completely running the show by himself along with a few friends that he's invited. Rick and Zane are going to be out for the week. In the first hour, we're going to speak with the Boogeyman, and we're definitely going to talk about his time in WWE, and I'm sure we'll bring up his incident between him and Santino Marella and Jim Cornette of Ohio Valley Wrestling as well. In the second hour, we're going to speak with independent wrestler, the headliner, Chris Michaels, and we're going to get caught up on his career. And that's going to be a really fun, very independent wrestling oriented second hour as well. I'm sure Will and everybody's going to have fun with that. That's 9 p.m. live in the chat room on AngryMarks.com. Wednesday night is Glove Up or Shut Up on AngryMarks.com with Peter and Stevie J returning to discuss the world of mixed martial arts. We once again had another UFC card this past weekend. We will run everything down and all the news in the professional world of mixed martial arts. Thursday night, AMP, Thursday at 9 p.m. It's going to be a really great show as well. In the first hour, we are going to be joined by Mike Poulin, who you recognize from the Impact Implosion. He will be helping us to interview Maine independent wrestler Sonny Roselli. And then in the second hour, staying in the Northeast, we will be bringing in promoter Sheldon Goldberg. He runs New England Championship Wrestling, one of the better independent wrestling promotions in the United States today. He is going to talk about the relaunch of New England Championship Wrestling on television, the new equipment that they've just bought as well to bring fans that action, and their joint alliance with the United Wrestling Network, where they've joined forces with other great promotions such as Championship Wrestling from Hollywood with Dave Marquez out in Los Angeles. You've got West Coast Wrestling Connection out of Portland, Oregon. You've got Ultra Championship Wrestling Zero, River City Wrestling out of Texas, Canada Wrestling Elite out of Manitoba, Steel Domain Wrestling from Minnesota, Traditional Championship Wrestling out of Arkansas. So we've got a lot of great independent promotions that are involved with that, and we will discuss all that in the second hour, Thursday night, AMP at 9 p.m. Friday night, you will see a new episode of the SmackDown Rundown with Jordan Garber and Rob the Mini. We will have Over the Top Radio with Ed in San Antonio, Craig and Contraire running down the end of the week news in professional wrestling and mixed martial arts, and we'll also have an episode of the Impact Implosion. I don't believe we will have that this Friday, but this weekend we should definitely have it. Impact Implosion, Seth Draken and Mike Poulin running down the latest and the greatest in TNA Impact Wrestling. And that's the lineup for this week, coming back around to the Raw Reaction every Monday night here after WWE Raw on AngryMarks.com. Don't miss it.
So get some sleep, Big Dick. It's going to be a great week. All right, my man?
Absolutely.
Kill a cab, hit our music, and get us out of here.